goodness, I can't wait. We're going to bring our Dr. Blair right now. All the way from Gambia, Cameroon, all the way from Ghana. King Simon, here. Give King Simon a round of applause. Hey, 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 hey. All right. Calm down. I'm serious. Calm down. Big up to the family. I'm so happy to be here. First and foremost, got to thank a big people like Natural Tahiti. Got to thank Brother Polite. Got to thank, of course, Sister Bishop Renee in the building also. Got to thank everybody, all the vendors inside and outside. We got vendors on the outside set up too. On the outside too. We got like 3 vendors on the outside. Hey, it is what it is. That's how you do it. You get here late, you don't get in. Also, got to big up the people from LIU doing it. Also doing the African Poetry Theater. Brother Shabazz and his beautiful empress in the building. Jamila. Got to thank my empress Malika. And, of course, her beautiful daughter Kishwa. The vegan brownies are delicious. Oh, my goodness. Got to thank Clemson Brown. Got to thank Clemson. Give Clemson a round of applause. Put your hands for Clemson Brown in the building. Transatlantic production in the building. Bring up the brother Akeem May from the Morris Paradigm in the building on 1000streams.com. Big up to the people in Tennessee watching me. People in Canada, in England, in Jamaica, wherever you are. All 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth. Big up to you. Big up to my brother Shaka Zulu in the building from the Zulu Nation in the building. Dr. Shaka Zulu Tafiq. Big up to Northern Ledge Radio. Big up to Abundance Child from, of course, Abundance Child Show. Her and Brother Johnny Knapp about to tie the knot. That's what it's all about. Big up to all the vendors. So are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I can't hear you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. We're going to have to make Apollo hear this. We need the Apollo to hear this. I'm serious. We got to make Apollo hear this right now, I'm telling you. Oh my God, I'm ready. You got to follow me with that camera, because I'll be moving. All right. Now, children, all the people in the audience, I need all of y'all to get up. I need all of y'all to get up. And put that beautiful, beautiful black fist together. For one of the elders that's been doing it for over 30 years. I want you to welcome the metaphysics teacher, the research scientist, the man who lost his wife in this whole struggle. You need to put your hands together for the one, the only, Dr. Delbert Blair. Welcome, Dr. Blair. Come on, pick it up. Welcome, bring it in. Don't get up. Come on, give it to him.
That for me, that thing, my tripod fell in my back. Pick it up. Thank you, bro.
Our elders in the building. Our elders is here. Our elder is here. Dr. Blair. 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 Come on. Put your hands together. Oh, my goodness, brother. Yes, brother. What's up, my brother?
Make sure you get me on. Okay.
You want to sit down? I'll set that up for you. Don't worry. I got somebody to help you, okay? All right, here's Dr. Blair. Give him a round of applause once again. This brother here has been working hard. Look at him. Still looking good. Sister Bridget, come up here, please. Sister Bridget, come up. Bridget Brown, come up here. You're going to help Dr. Blair real quick to set up his stuff. Oh, we got some stuff, man. You know he don't talk about everything happening in the world, right? And the universe. Oh, my goodness. So.
Thank you so much, folks. It's my pleasure, as usual, to be here. And for all of you who've been here for a very long time, I hope you can take a deep breath and stay with me a couple more hours. I don't think you'll find it boring. And one of the things that's very interesting is how this young man here can continue to get the exuberance, the strength, the wisdom, and still the perpetuity to go out and do what he does each and every time. And so I heard back there, I said, boy, who's he introducing? I want to see this guy. excited too. I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. And we do have some announcements to make at the end today about tomorrow. Hopefully you'll join me again. But we've got so much to cover. So what I'm going to do, rather than to just belabor it, if you hold your questions and your comments, as you know, I've been at this 40 years, 45 years lecturing, and I always never run away from what I'm saying. So if you can kind of hold some of your comments, your questions to the end of it, but then at that time, if you hear someone else ask your question or make a comment, you will go, don't be done, don't repeat it again, because we got a lot to cover, very much so again. How are all of you feeling?
Awesome.
To set the proper mood, I would like for you to kind of go within for 40 seconds. And I think you know that Creator's Prayer that I'm always talking about. You're going to be using that a lot, folks, believe me. And it's going to have to come from your heart. So let's kind of just close your eyes or open your eyes, get in a meditative state. And it's, please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and the planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my soul, my heart, and my spirit to truth and your love now. Only your love, only your truth, no lies. Thank you. Finding truth nowadays is difficult because truth on this planet has been subservient to lies. It takes forever to tell a lie. And there's always a mistake made somewhere. It takes no time to tell truth. I'm going to run through some truths very quickly for you at the beginning. And yes, I will be covering the second part of what we're presenting tonight on what's happening on our planet and some of the things behind what I think are happening on our planet. But I want to first start off with what's happening on our planet before the Japanese situation, before the tsunamis, before these wars that are being told that are lies, before many things, by just stating a question of what's happening here in what we call now electronic mind control. We have now what we would call PSA waves. We have what we call electromagnetic propagations. We have psychotronic microwave emissions. All of these things seem like it's nothing, just big words. Well, they are big words, but they're hiding one little thing: the ability to control the people of Earth, the ability to control all sections of people by understanding the weaknesses in certain races and propagating to them, including one of the things that we are caught up in again, using a lot of digital equipment, using a lot of sound and rhythm. Once you understand how a thing works, how a person, place, or thing works, you can always work with it to get either the good or the bad. In most cases now, they don't want anything good. They want the things bad. And they very much still fear, still envy, and still covet melanin. Never let that be put aside, because it's one of the biggest things that we battle over now. And in case you didn't know, and I think most of you do, because I recognize a lot of very astute faces now again, melanin is dark matter. Everywhere you hear now on the planet Earth, talk about dark matter. Black holes. They don't understand what a black hole is. They don't understand what dark matter is. It is melanin. And the easiest way to clean up your melanin or mess up your melanin is through chlorophyll. Because there's only one magnesium molecule difference between human hemoglobin and plant chlorophyll, and it's the easiest way to get the pineal gland to manufacture the 7 different grades of melanin that we have. We haven't reached the 12th grade. We have 7 different grades here now. Because of that, there are vibrations that melanin can reach that normally can't be reached on a planet like our Earth, because our Earth is a third-dimensional planet. Third planet out from the sun, and third-dimensional. So what they have done now is to use towers and propagations of electricity to modulate wavelengths and affect matter, breaking it down. Every time you see these towers out here, and now they've gone around and coupled them. They've had it so long now. Those things are not just for cell phones. They're not just for TV sets. They're not just for radio wave propagation. They can also be modulated to the structure of your sound wave in your body, your brain, and so on and so forth. When they get to an 800 megahertz wave, which corresponds with the vibrations of Earth, everybody kind of goes into a hypnotic trance. People are carrying around, and I don't doubt that, I bet you everyone in here has one with them or else has one at home, what they call, what do they call those things? Cell phones? What do they call them? Cell phones? And anybody ever heard of a cell phone? What's the difference between a cell phone and an iPhone? Or a BlackBerry and an iPod? Or a T-Mobile and something else, which by the way, AT&T just took over, so now you have all in the one group. You can't escape through the T-cells now, T-Mobile. But all of these things, how many in here don't have a cell phone? And that's what I thought. So I won't even ask the other way around. Well, you know right now it's on and it's radiating you?
Yes.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you happen to have a diode on it, it may not be radiating you as bad. Some people believe in different crystals again. I'd have to see the crystal and get the vibrations by testing you kinesiological to see if it's really doing it again. But every time you have that cell phone with you, you're being radiated. Unless you have a cell phone diode or something that you know is going to adequately stop that signal. People say, well, Blair, while you're talking, I turned mine off. No, you didn't turn it off even though I'm talking, because you can't turn it off. And now, those that could turn it off and took the time to go in the back and take out the cell chip and put it back on, what they call a battery, then it used to be off, but if you've got any of the new waves now, even when you do that, you can't, because there's an element in there that's always broadcasting that can, when they reach the frequency, be exploded in your pocket. You didn't just hear that, did you? And anywhere you go, you can be tracked as long as you have your cell phone with you. If you put it down, they can tell where you laid it down last and how long you laid it there. What did you just say? Put it down, how long it was laid there, and where you put it? Sure, because it's a tracking device. Some of you say, well, I have a cell phone, but I don't use it but once a week. Well, if you use it once a week and you don't have to charge it up, it means it's still propagating, it's still broadcasting. That's why it lets you know it can store energy until you use it. Now, I know nobody in here today had a chance to watch TV because you've been here all day, but how many of you might have watched it over the last 4 days? If you watched it one time, you just got radiated. You got radiated severely. If you have a plasma TV, if you have one of those TVs that goes flat screen on the wall and broadcasts a wave of electricity and other electromagnetic propagations 22 feet out away from you, and also stores itself in any metal that you have around there, any crystals that you have around there, all of these things now are very deadly because they're called plasma TVs, and they work by a plasma unit that runs into the back of it, takes that light, propagates it to a high frequency, and they have what they call now high def. They ought to call it high def, D-E-A-T-H rather than high definition. Why? Because it's too bright. And if you remember 2 years ago, time is flying by. You know that, right? Time is speeding up. And that's also something that you're sensing this wheel. 2 years ago, they told you had to get that box in order to get high def. And if you didn't, you were out of it, man. I mean, you didn't get that. Just you couldn't see something so bright it would blind you like the sun. You weren't in it. And people actually paid for their own demise. They actually paid to go blind. They actually paid to get hurt. Because those high deficits too, the vibrations on that thing, the intensity of a light wave is much too strong. You don't need it that much. What do you need it for? You already got things bright. Now, many of you are very much into health in here, so I doubt if any of you fall under the next item I'm going to mention, but just in case you might, and of course don't raise your hand because I don't want to know, some of you may have even microwave, what do you call these ovens? Microwave ovens? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Microwave oven? It's an oven that works on microwaves, is that it? And unless you hurry up, when you're ready for work, hurry up, you just woke up, and in 5 minutes time, man, you got your food ready. You don't have to worry about getting it, baking it, and boiling it, and all that. Just get it, and you know that's killing you too, right? Now, they have a capsule in there again that is vibrating at over 1 million times per parsecond. And that's what heats up the food. And when it's hot, it's full of microwave radiation. And when it's cold, it's dissipated. And you want it when it's hot, right? That's what you're getting. You're putting microwave emissions and radiation into your body every time you take it out of there and do it. Also, of course, with UL approval, they say that, well, these things interlock and nothing can bleed out from it, no ion leak, because it's already been certified, UL approved. Every time that interlock is opened, before it can get closed completely, there are ions that bleed out from that. You heard about ionization, they even have now on TV ion drive, and the ion and everything. Those little ions can be very heavy in radiation. And what happens is usually find these things in the kitchen, near a toaster, or sometimes, some of you may not have a toaster, but I'll bet you, does anybody in here have a refrigerator? What do they call it? A refrigerator, right? That's something you put food into and it keeps it cold, right? And usually it's in a kitchen, right? They don't have the bedroom or anything, do they? And where's the microwave oven usually? It's in the kitchen too. And when you open it up and there's a bleed out, it goes into the closest metal it can find. Usually because it's behind the refrigerator, which used to have copper but now has metal and copper, with freon gas in those tubes that goes up to your ice chest, and it gets into that thing, goes into your ice chest, the propagation of that ion, and after 6 months' time, not only is your ice chest for the radiation, but if you have metal shells, rather than the plastic shells, your whole refrigerator now is a radiation device. And the food you put in there is already highly radioactive. What's he saying? Kind of thing you never would know about? No. Also, some of you, of course, you've heard me say this before, drive cars. Anybody ever heard of an automobile? A car, a taxi, bus, over the road rig, truck. You heard any of these things? Some of you even driving them, right? Every day, once a week. You know you're also now messing up your sex organ. Why did that go equate? Okay, let's break it down. You get in there, you turn on the ignition. Turn on ignition, kicks in what? The alternator. Alternator charges up the battery and gives off a frequency. Frequency wires to the cell firewall in the car. And when your wheels turn, and of course with the cost of gas nowadays, we'll talk about that later too, cost of gas nowadays, you're not going to sit in that car and just listen to the radio. You're going somewhere when you turn it on. Well, now you're in trouble, because what happens now? The wheels are turned, there's no ground, all that energy that's being radiated now goes into the metal chassis of the car. With the side impact laws being 45 mph to take an air-in bag filler, it means now that when you're going that fast, all of that energy is put into the metal of the car. Now what's welded, not riveted, welded to the frame of that car? Your seats. And very securely now, because that's what he wants you to put on the seat belts, and everything is reinforced. Well, that metal is now full of radioactivity generated by that car moving, comes up to the seat, and what's sitting in the seat? You and your sex organ and your butt. Those are the things sitting there. Now, what does that have to do with anything? The butt is what you have. Again, you have your ileocecal valve that goes through the buttocks, all the way down the neck. People are now getting all kinds of sciatic problems. They're getting sciatica, so on and so forth. They're getting cramps in their legs, and it's radiating the sex organ. With men, it's caused many problems now with the swelling of the prostate gland. It's causing all kinds of problems with the swelling of the nerves and blood systems there. Women, it's causing many tumors and things to begin to grow. It's causing vaginitis, but they don't tell you about that part of it. And you continue that with the GPS unit, the cell phone, and many people sneak and use like they know you're not going to. Some people have it built into the car, so all those wires are wrapped in this frame of your car, which now means your whole car now is a Faraday cage after about 6 or 7 months. When you get into it, you get into a radioactive car. And if you doubt that, turn on your AM or FM, listen to your signal and watch it modulate. You can even pick up somebody else pass by what their conversation is, because now that cross waves are being carried by a microwave, which means you can hear the sound without tuning to it. That lets you know you just got radio. And this goes in, day out, every time you get in and out of that car. Okay? Say, oh, well, those are things, but I guess, well, I gotta drive, I gotta listen, I gotta watch TV, I gotta eat. What else can I do? Well, some of you may have even heard of a computer. Like a computer. Anybody ever heard of that? Computer? I would say, man, what's a computer? And then they told me something about the They said that has to do with having an adequate computer setup. Well, now when you have an adequate computer setup, each one of those now is a radioactive broadcasting device. And the one you use the mainnet monitor is the one that has the Blair screen on it, again, which you're typing in with your mouse. That's also affecting your whole body. It's radiating you. The eyes, ears, nose, and throat. And they tell me those are all important to the apparatus that you have called a body. Is that true? Is that really true? Yeah? Oh, okay. Well, then you're still with me. Now, every time you use that, you're getting broadcasted with radiation. And the radiation can build up. And every time you sit in front of it again, you've got the same kind of problem you had before. And then, well, while we're still thinking about, I know many of you have modems, scanners, printers, and consoles too, right? But some of you may, right? If you're really smart, you're really making money, and you're into the electronic age. Then some of you, of course, the room must be kind of lit. So if you happen to work in a factory or an office, some of you may even have over your head what is called a fluorescent fixture. Well, anybody ever looked up at a fluorescent fixture? Anybody know what I mean by a fluorescent fixture? You know what it means by a ballast? You know what it means by an ion tube that lights up and makes those little molecules of ions get together to give you that fluorescent glow, and then beams it down with intensity to the ballast? Now your head's getting radiated. As you sit in the office, as you sit anywhere you are when that's on again now. Now you got it right down into the pons varolii up there where all of those two hemispheres are, and your whole brain cavity now is subject to radiation. I mean, none of you used any things I'm talking about now, really. You don't know anybody using any of these. You do? Oh, well, I guess you'd say, pity them. I know it's not you, though. So all of these things we use. Some of you are really smart, though. Some of you get what they call a mobile phone. Now, this is a phone that's not like a cell phone, but you get a base, and then you sit that thing charged, and you can walk with that anywhere you want in your house. Sometimes you can even go outside a little bit with it, right? And that thing will always, anybody know what I'm talking about? Mobile phone sensitive. You don't know anybody that has any of those. Yeah, I know you don't, but I know you wouldn't know anybody that has any of those. And some of them 3 and 4 in a house. You go down the basement, go up in the attic, they still got that phone, right? Well, the base on that thing is always giving out radiation, and your whole house is radioactive if you keep it there for 30 days because you have joists, wiring, rods, and everything else in your home. And that, you know why it's always on? Because you're always charging it. So it's never off. And wherever it is, when you set that in there, it's going to charge it up. So now you've got these things in each room, so you're adding to the TV set in there. And well, I keep talking about these things, but then of course there's some other things going on. They don't mean too much. But some of you like to get many channels. You get cable, right? And then some of you, in addition to the cable, you might get the cell phone that does super special stuff. Like it can pick up Alpha Centauri, Epsilon Booty. You can. They tell me, a guy showed me that. He showed me, yeah, look at this. I can pick up everything. Do you know how you get that? You got an orbiting satellite somewhere, you know that? And that satellite is monitoring way out there in space and sending that just to you. Because you asked for it. And you even touched it to make sure you get it right? Ooh, Alpha Centauri, Epsilon, oh my goodness, yeah. And then you can even check and see what your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, you can check, no, you wouldn't do that. But if you wanted to, you could get that zip code at the bottom, the government routing number, so satellites can track you. You can do the same thing and see what's happening in your friend's garage, on your lawn, look at their license plate, and even zoom in on it. None of you know anything about that, right? And you would never do it for that reason, but the government, what's the government? But the government can do it to you. And if you're smart, you can do it to the government too if you track that forward. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? How many know what I'm talking about when I talk about the 4 little letters at the end that let you be tracked by the government? Huh? All right. Well, that's just another device that you have now that's pulling in from an orbiting satellite directly into you because it loves you. So now you got a beam from an orbiting satellite that you're touching over and over again and having fun. While you also listen to your other one with the cell phone, you got the earphones on probably because you listen to a program, because you like to be, what do they call it? You do a lot of things at once. What do they call it? Multitasking. That's it, a multitasker. Yeah, you get radiation from everywhere. At once? Yeah, okay, we done it twice. That's just the beginning. That's kindergarten. And our planet is going from kindergarten, so you're going to have to get out into first grade very quickly, because kindergarten is over with. Lollipop and giants are there, but they lick you, not the suckers. There is something now called microwave propagation. I hope I pronounced it right. And psychotronic resurgent, or I like to put it that epitaph, but they call it equipment. Psychotronic simply means that it works with the psyche, and it does it on a subatomic level, which means now they can broadcast wavelengths to any of the frequencies that your brain can come up with unless you're a genius. It also means that they can broadcast wavelengths that can emit and mimic disease. Disease is what? Dis-ease. It means anything that causes an imbalance in your hemispheres, your electromagnetic field, your wave propagation of nerve cells, neurons, that is a disease. A disease is nothing itself. It's what it does, but they say diseases you. So many things can cause disease. You follow my logic here? Not a disease, a germ, a pathogen, no. It is something now that when it's used can cause your body to get disease. Well, they can now broadcast any wavelength that a germ can use, and they have studied and actually electromagnetically amplified the sound waves of certain germs, duplicated it, and then sent it through the air to you. Did you just hear what I said? How many actually heard? Raise your hand. How many understood what I said? Leave your hand up. All right, put your hand down, thank you. How many didn't understand what I just said? Be honest. A few. They have found now that everything in creation has a wavelength, or it's not creatable. It's not created. Okay? So once you can categorize, if you got a staph germ, whatever thing you call a germ has a wavelength. And if it is detrimental to you that can cause disease, then consequently that wavelength is now registered. They have made a science of getting close to emulating, imitating, acting like that GZ's germ, and then sending it through the air even though the germ is not there. So the body will react as though the germ were there. That is psychotronic warfare, and that's kindergarten. Why do I say that's kindergarten? Because that means now that every pathogen that they can now record can be duplicated, and if it's duplicated, it can be sent to you even though you are germ and bacteria free. Maybe I didn't say that right. If you're free and you got no bacteria and you wash it in your arms, you wash it in your hands, and you do everything good, and you breathe wonderful air and so on and so forth again, you can then in your sleep have a broadcast tower from out there, send you a germ in there, and there's no germ present. Now that's evil. You must spread back where it's live. To live, you're going to have to understand evil and change it. You can't fight something or be detrimental to something or be good for something that's bad to you until you understand what the bad is. How do you defend yourself against something you didn't know was attacking you? And that's why now to be ignorant is to be blissfully dead, or soon on your way to die. Ignorance, no, there's nothing blissful about ignorance now. Ignorance now will get you killed, and everybody around you killed, because 3 people wake up, 4 of the family, 1 doesn't, the whole family is under scrutiny, because now that person is now messing up the family by doing things they know they should not do. It is a time for astuteness, for waking up, for being intelligent, for getting wisdom, not even knowledge. Knowledge I had. I'm trying to get wisdom every day, because these are wisdom haters, and the things that they're doing are evil. I can't believe some of the stuff that I research and find. And the Creator has led me to do so. I'm sharing with you. You make whatever decision you want to make from that again. Think of this now. Even if you don't do this, you might know some young